students, welcome to your English class. Hope you all are doing well. In today's class, we are going to learn lesson number 1, an uncomfortable bed textbook exercises. This is the index of what we are going to learn. We have grammar and usage, words in use, speaking and writing. Let us start with grammar and usage. Nouns. What are nouns? Nouns are person, animal, place, thing. Nouns are also called naming words like mother, father, cow, pig, table, book, school. There are different kinds of nouns: abstract noun, proper noun, common noun, material noun, collective noun, countable noun, and uncountable noun. Let us learn about these kinds of nouns in detail with examples. Proper noun. A proper noun refers to the name of a particular place, person, or thing. Common noun. Common noun refers to the name common to all persons or things of the same kind. Collective noun. Collective noun refers to the name of a group or collection of many taken together. Material noun. These are the nouns that refer to the names of the materials or substances out of which things are made. Abstract noun. Abstract noun refers to the name of a feeling, state of mind or quality, something which cannot but only felt. Okay, so examples of proper noun: Rajappa, John, Mangalore and more. Common noun example: teacher, student, river and more. Collective noun: family, army, staff, crowd, flock. Examples of material nouns: gold, silver, clay, wood, iron, wool. Examples of abstract nouns: patience, childhood, pressed sheep, darkness, chemistry. Now let us learn about countable and uncountable nouns. Countable noun can be counted, things that we can count. An apple can be counted. A school can be schools can be counted. One picture, two pictures, pictures can be counted. Whereas we cannot count. Uncountable means it cannot be counted. Can we count sugar? We can count them in kgs, but can we count 1, 2, 3 like this? No. Next, countable noun can take singular or plural verb. There is a book on the table. Whose houses? Those houses are very big, aren't they? So, countable noun can take a singular or plural verb, whereas uncountable noun can take, it will always take a singular verb. Okay, there is some water in that picture. Countable noun can go with a, and, the, mine, etc. in the singular. For example, she bought an umbrella. Uncountable noun, they do not go with a, an, or to, etc. You can only ask, can you hear music? This is the example we can use. Countable noun can be used alone with some, any, many, few in the plural. For example, I love some carrots. Whereas uncountable noun can be used alone with some, any, much, little, etc. There is little information about the weather. This is the example how we can use this. Another thing is, can use a, an, one or two with coffee, tea when we talk about a cup, glass or bottle. Can I have 2 teas, please? You cannot ask like this. You can ask like telling, can I have a cup of tea? Now let us learn about what are quantifiers. A quantifier is a word or phrase which is used before a noun to indicate the amount or quantity. Quantifiers means to talk about amount or quantity. There are some words when we want to talk about quantity, these words can be used. Some, many, a lot of, and a few are examples of quantifiers. Quantifiers can be used with both countable and uncountable nouns. Example, there are some books on the desk. He's got only a few dollars. So these are the examples. You can see here there are number of examples which we can use with uncountable nouns, which we can use with countable nouns, or which we can use with both countable and uncountable nouns. There are ways to understand how to quantify nouns. There are 3 rules given here. First rule, we know that some nouns are countable but become uncountable when we use them in general sense. So it's very easy to understand here that some nouns are actually countable, but when we are using them, we can use them as uncountable nouns. For example, I will buy a dozen bananas. The banana is a tropical fruit. So these are the 2 examples of rule 1. Rule 2. There are other nouns, especially abstract and material nouns. What is an abstract noun? Which refers to feeling, state of mind, quality of something which cannot be felt. Okay. What is a material noun? A material noun is something which we give names to a material or substances of which things are made. So here there are other nouns, especially abstract and material nouns, which are typically uncountable. We use the structure. There is one structure when we are using this rule, A of, to quantify these nouns. See, how can we use the structure A of? Example, a kilo of coal, a ton of steel, a period of calm. Rule 3. There is yet another category consisting of nouns which are usually uncountable but can become countable depending on usage. As we have learned in rule 1, some nouns we can change them from countable to uncountable. In rule 3, we can change the nouns from uncountable to countable depending on their usage, Example, there is a fear that elephants are still poached for ivory. Getting an education is critical in the present day. So these are the 3 rules. We have a textual exercise on this rule. The exercise is underline the uncountable nouns in these sentences and you have to write whether it is rule 1, rule 2 or rule 3 depending on the rule. Is it clear? Please go through this exercise. Children, now we are going to learn about what are pronouns. A pronoun is a word used in a place of noun. The words they, she, he and it are used in place of nouns. When we use these words in place of nouns, they are called as pronouns. Okay? Some more examples of them are I, me, she, we, they, who, that, yours, his, her, it, etc. Pronoun. Jack and Millie came to tea. Jack is he and Millie is she. And little Susie, well, that's me. So these are about pronouns. Now there are different kinds of pronouns. We are going to learn about indefinite pronouns. We use indefinite pronouns to refer to people or things without saying exactly who or what they are. Here are some examples of indefinite pronouns. We have indefinite pronouns to use with singular and to use with plural. These are some of the examples. There are also indefinite pronouns which can be used both for singular and plural. For example, all, any, most, none and some. We have a textbook exercise on page number 6, B-bit. Complete the sentences with suitable indefinite pronouns from the box. Please go through this exercise. Next topic that we are going to learn is words in use. In this we have prefix. Children, what is a prefix? A prefix is a word added at the beginning of a base word to change the meaning of that word. For example, dis. The base word is like. Before this word I am adding dis, so it has become the opposite of like. Like, dislike. Fact, non-fact. Happy, unhappy. So these are the words. You can refer these examples. There is a textbook exercise on page number 7, A-bit. A-bit, complete these words. There are some words given here. Honest, if you add this, it becomes dishonest. Similarly, expected, unexpected. Polite, impolite. Comfortable, uncomfortable. Trustful, distrustful. Practical, impractical. Now using these words, you have to complete the above sentences. Now we are going to learn about phrase. The definition of phrase is a group of words or more words functioning as a meaningful unit within a sentence or clause. So if I group phrases, they are group of words, we can understand those words but we cannot give a complete sense. For example, if I tell you on the roof, if I tell you on the roof, you will not be able to understand who is on the roof and what is on the roof. So we can understand those words but they don't give us a complete sense. There is an exercise in textbook page number 7, B-bit. Please go through this exercise. Next is speaking. In speaking we have what is role play. Let us learn the definition of role play. When it comes to theatre, role play is a fundamental skill that allows actors to be successful in their roles. Role playing allows an actor to step into the shoes of a character. This may sound easy, but is not necessarily a natural process. It's a skill that requires a lot of practice before an actor can do it comfortably and well. Role playing takes place in small groups where each actor is given a specific character or role to take on for the assigned period. Within the role play, aside from assigning characters such as mother, friend, classmate, there is also a prescribed situation within which the various characters will interact. The situation provides the boundaries and guides how the characters should behave within the role play. We already did role plays in the class. We take some story, we have characters in that, we role play, we act like those characters. There is an exercise in textbook page number 8. Please go through the exercise. Next we have writing. What we are going to learn in this writing is we have to write a paragraph with linkers. You should know what is a linker. What are linkers or connectors? Two sentences are joined by a connector or a linker. For example, they are poor but very honest. This sentence can be divided into two. They are poor, they are honest. But what am I doing here? I am adding two different sentences into one sentence by using a linker or a connector but. There is a list of all the linkers which will help you to create a paragraph. We have textbook exercise on page number 8. You have to imagine to be the valet who entered the speaker's room in the morning. Write a short paragraph on what happened when you went into the room. You can use at least 5 linkers from below. There are at least 10 linkers given here. Using these linkers you can frame a paragraph. I hope all the textbook exercises were clear to you. Thank you, children.